Hello, it's Kay. Welcome to the 19th episode of this journey we've been on together so far. In today's video, I want to talk about other progresses that I've made after implementing my life coach's lessons. As we've discussed, one of the most important lessons in this journey was learning uh, how to avoid or reduce any detrimental addictions that we have in our life. And one of my bad habits was smoking. And yeah, SAR instructed me to quit, as I discussed in its own video. And it was a it wasn't it wasn't a choice. I had to obey that. I had to accept that if I wanted to, if I wanted him to be my life coach and, continue his guidance. And yeah, I accepted that anyway. And I knew, as he told me in the beginning of this self transformation journey, there are going to be challenges and surprises that I have to just accept and, say nothing, I can say, not resist so much. And uh, but he promised that all of them will be in my benefit uh, eventually or finally. I started to quit gradually about 2 or 3 months ago, and finally for the last few weeks, uh, I quit it, completely, uh, and I haven't smoked even one cigarette, and I want to talk about that in today's video. Let's get into it. Smoking. Where should I start? We talked about this topic. I mean, me and my life coach for for long hours. I mean, about addictions, not even necessarily smoking, but you know, when we were children, we used to play with toys, right? Um, I mean, for me, it was like this. I had lots of cars and other toys that I really liked, and I had cousins, who had dolls in, with any character that you can imagine. They had bears and etc. And it was it was something that I had to play with every single day. It just filled that void. Uh, how can I describe it to you? Just take my car, I start to cry. It was like my fix. I wanted to play with them. I wanted to imagine some stories and make some stories for myself in those times. It was just like a relief time for me, and I think you can relate to that. Uh, just take the doll from the girl, take the boy's car. He starts to cry. She starts to cry, and as we grow up, it just changes its shape or form. We still want that fix. Do you feel what I mean? We still want that relief, instant. You know, we still want that time that we are in our world and we are just enjoying the moment and in our skin. This is what I'm talking about. And when we grow up, if you just if you take someone's cigarette and tell them to stop, and imagine forcing them not to smoke anymore, they don't cry, but they start getting angry. They start getting nervous, overwhelmed. It's like it's like our toy is taken compared to that child. We don't cry because we know, we have to be strong. Instead of crying, we get angry because we have ego, right? And I think I'm just talking to myself in those times, in a few months ago, to myself in a year ago or something. What I'm trying to say, if you're a smoker, I think definitely you can relate, but even if you're not, you've likely noticed, how people who smoke eventually, settle into a kind of vibe, kind of a mindset that says, yeah, I'm carefree and I don't want to think about the consequences. Who cares what happens when I'm 50, 60, 70? I just want to live my life to the fullest right now and, enjoy it as I have time because who knows who's dead or alive tomorrow. Do you feel what I mean? This was exactly me, back then, a few months ago. If you asked me like, why do you smoke? It's just, hurting you. I would just answer in these ways. And I was so sure about myself. I was like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm right. I mean, I just want to feel the moment. Uh, this vibe builds up over time. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I've learned actually from my life coach, from SAR. This vibe builds up over time and can lead to a, mindset that's okay with any type, any shape of instant pleasure. Depending on one's life situation, the condition, this mindset can even, just lead to worse addictions, lead to, worse habits, whether drugs, social media, or, validation seeking in some shape or form, or, even excessive consumption in some form. They're all the same, It's just about consumption. And, some consumptions are, absolute, we can't do anything about them. We cannot let go of breathing, but uh, so many things are, so many things, for so many things, we can do that. We can let go of them, and we're gonna, be better off. This is what I'm trying to say. I cut down to just 2 or 3 cigarettes per week for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then finally quit. And I've now been completely off of it for the past 2 or 3 months, more or less. 2 months, yeah. It's been 2 months. And as SAR instructed, I had to wash my nasal passages every, on the days that I smoke, in their night times. And before sleep, I had to reflect on what I've done and, imagine myself, um, you know, think about what I mean is thinking about the better life and personality that I can achieve by letting it go, by, abandoning it. And this helped me a lot, This, I can say, was one of the defining factors because even when I decreased it, I could still see, okay, even this small amount is hurting me and, it's not good for me. And I can even, become a better person by stopping it completely. And I admit there were times when when I was hanging out with the similar people, same people I used to smoke with, and it was a bit awkward suddenly saying, no, you know, I think you can relate to that. It was always, that leisure time for us, for me and my friends, to just go and grab a smoke. It was that take a breath and, relief time. Hey, buddy, wanna grab a smoke? Hey, Paul, you wanna light up one? You know, hey, let's grab one. It's it was it felt good. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you, as you can imagine. And for the first few times when I said no, I think I came off as a bit too strong, as a bit, too bald-headed and, let's say stubborn, because I just reacted and said no, uh, not in a very nice way, I can say. But I realized saying no is actually easier than it seems if you prepare yourself for it, if you just resolve it first within yourself. You know, first you should just talk to yourself about, okay, I'm no longer going to do it anymore, and feel like it's something that has been done for a few months. Like, even this is the first day, it's better to pass that. It's better to perceive, it's better to imagine yourself as someone who already, was away from it, and it's just gone. It's not there anymore, and I just, abandoned it. This type of a, mindset. And then, when someone says, wanna have a smoke, or, do you want a cigarette, it's easy to just say, "Hmm, I'm not smoking anymore, but thanks for asking," you know in a with a positive demeanor, and in a nice way, and, not just answering without thinking and too strong. You can be gentle and just say no, and period. Just put the period there and change the topic. That's it. There's no need to, explain more. This is what I'm trying to say. If someone makes a plan without asking, without letting you decide, like, hey, let's go grab a smoke, or hey, buddy, let's go light up one, oh, come on, take one cigarette, you know, you can still join them for the break, for taking a fresh air, or even for the sake of company, and still tell them no. You can say, go ahead, but I'm not smoking anymore. And, what I'm trying to say, just tell that and be nice, be gentle, have a small, maybe, smile on your mouth, but, we don't owe anyone a big explanation, right? Some people might be supportive, even some smokers, after listening, hearing that from you, might say, oh man, you know, I'm proud of you. It's great that you have that willpower and you finally, quit. I'm happy for you. Some people can be like this, but on the other hand, others might start asking, questions like, from when, and why did you quit smoking? Or, in worse case, is this one of those short-term things again? Is this one of those short-term decisions that you are making for a few weeks? You feel what I mean? In this case, you can say I just felt it was bothering me more than it was actually helping. And leave it at that, period. And change the topic, talk about something else, talk about weather, what happened yesterday, what you're dealing with today, and, something that is going on in their life. There are thousands of topics to talk and, to just spend time with, right? Changing the subject afterward makes it clear that you are firm about your decision without pushing it on others. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I've learned from my life coach. Like, we don't want to come off as, okay, I took this new decision, this great, new mindset, and everyone else have to be like that from today too, because I just discovered that it's a very bad thing. Do you feel what I mean? No, for you it's just like that. For others, it's just another day in their life. They just woke up and they're doing the same thing as yesterday, as last week. That's it. And they didn't, go through this process of, self reflection and, self transformation and, and yeah, I just learned that insisting too much or, constantly explaining yourself is a waste of time that can actually work against you instead of, benefiting you. During the first few weeks, I only smoked when I felt I extremely needed to, and when it's extremely difficult not to, honestly. But, each day, by thinking about what I'm doing to myself and the benefits I would gain after, abandoning entirely, my willpower grew and grew. I reminded myself I used to be better at some activities like exercising, some, hardcore activities like cardio, or doing calisthenics, or, doing weightlifting or cycling, any running. Before I started smoking, I remember I I was a lot better, I was way better, way stronger, you know, I could my breath could, last longer. I didn't need to just, you know, breathe for a lot of times in a minute even to just have that, freshness, have that oxygen in my blood. And when I got on treadmill, I saw how my stamina, dropped after a few minutes, and how I would get short of breath. I used to, run for long minutes, for long times on treadmill before smoking. These realizations kept kept strengthening my resolve to quit, you know, completely once and for all. This is what I'm trying to say. And now, after about 2 months of being smoke free, in one word, I just feel great. So that's where I am now. I'm feeling real growth every single week by staying and being on this self transformation path. And honestly, I'm eager to keep my eyes open to the patterns that I've been stuck in. I feel I understand that there are a lot more, you know, habits that I can find, I can discover, I can figure out and let go and, be better off. You know why I'm saying that? Because months ago when I started this path, of course, I felt, I, I knew I was feeling bad and, I was hopeless and everything is going wrong, I'm failing in any aspects of life. But honestly, if you just, took me and told me, this is what you have to fix and this single thing is your problem, one of your problems, I would say no, because I perceived them as normal, natural, or ordinary. Yeah, everyone smokes, everyone does this, everyone does that. And I think there are still things in my life that I still perceive, I still think they are ordinary, but they're not, that I haven't discovered yet. But I'm eager to, you know, find them, figure them out. Yeah, so let's keep it going and see you next time. Forward.